I read an interview with you, and you were talking about your mindset going into Hardwired or recording it. And the words that I saw a lot were unruliness, reckless, but controlled.
Yeah.
Is that your, like, in life as well?
Well, you know, I have always been intrigued by the concept of organized chaos and chaos in general. When I was a teenager, I read a lot of books by this author called Michael Moorcock, and you know, he created this whole world, and you know, chaos was a big part of this entire universe of characters that he created. And I always felt that, you know, chaos was really, really important, and if it was applied correctly, you know, I mean, chaos is just like an element of change, really. And you know, organized chaos, when you can like try to organize when to be chaotic, I've always been intrigued at that, because, you know, what's the visual you get when someone throws off their chains, you know? It's like, right. Freedom, you know, And so organized chaos is kind of like, you know, you're taking off these chains just to embrace the chaos that's going to come in the wake of that, you know. And so I guess what I'm saying is I wanted it to be unpredictable and unexpected for everyone out there, including myself. And I think that, you know, the way I recorded these solos in the studio, I did exactly that. I just jumped in.
And yeah, and the second riff of Hardwired in particular of the song itself, was a point for you that you pointed out in that interview.
Oh, well, you know, it's interesting because, like, that guitar solo, I mean, I really had like a few hours to come up with it. And when I just played whatever came out of my head, but in retrospect, when I look back at it, all this is a bunch of blues licks, and like the opening lick is like something that Robert Johnson would play or would have played, you know, back in 1935 or 1936 or whatever, when he was around. And you know, there's a Chuck Berry lick in there, yeah. But when you hear it in context of the song, it just sounds like just a high energy heavy metal solo. But I couldn't have like sat down and said, okay, I'm gonna play a Robert Johnson lick right here, and when it comes to this part, I'm gonna play a Chuck Berry lick. It just came out of me because it's part of my inner dialogue, you know, my inner music dialogue. And yes, I have listened to a lot of Robert Johnson, and you know, I was very, very moved emotionally when Chuck Berry passed away, because you know, he's pretty much the creator of being out front center with you know, a guitar, and just playing his ass off, and playing guitar solos and playing vocals and singing vocals, and you know, he was everything. He had incredible showmanship. He was a great songwriter. You know, he was the guy.
He was controlled chaos.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, he blazed a path that exists right now. I mean, when I go out there and play at Hardwired tonight, when I play that first guitar solo, I'm gonna play a Chuck Berry lick. He's still alive, right there in that little section.